My name is Inessa Soroka, just to let you know. And I'll be holding our session today. Congratulations to everyone with the beginning of the new English course for finance and business. Please let me know if you can hear and see me well. Find the chat in our meeting. You've got to click on the icon chat and put a plus. Everything is okay. Елена, нет изображения. Please check your settings, because I'm holding this session with the video. All right. So first of all, let me know, what do you expect from this English course? What are your expectations? Why have you decided to sign up for the English course for business and finance? You are welcome to speak up, so you can switch on your microphones. We are so many today. I see. Taking into account the number of participants, you are welcome to type your answers in the chat. So I repeat the question one more time. What are your expectations from the English course, from the new English course for business and finance? Why have you decided to sign up for this course? What is the main reason? Anna, let me read your answer. I want to improve my skills in writing emails correctly. Okay. Anyone else? Don't be shy. While you are typing, let me also introduce the new topic. So the topic on the agenda is career choice. I'll be sharing my screen with you. Please make sure that you can see my presentation. Can everyone see my presentation? All right. So let's get started. In this session, we will revise with you different tenses. And also we will watch the video how to know if it's time to change careers. Let's start with a group discussion. Do you agree or disagree with the following quotes? A quote is цитата. Please switch off your microphones unless I ask you to switch them on, okay? Выключаем микрофоны, да, включаем их, когда я прошу вас об этом, когда вы выступаете. So let me read the first quote. Many people quit looking for work when they find a job. Stephen Wright, US comedian. Is anyone willing to translate this quote? Anna, answering your question, yes, all the materials will be sent to you right after the session. No worries about that. So who is ready to translate the quote? You don't need to switch on your video, but you're welcome to switch on your microphone and try to translate the quote in front of you. Кто-нибудь готов перевести цитату? Вам не нужно включать видео, вы можете просто включить микрофон, либо поднять ручку. Видите, на верхней панели, on the upper tab, you can see some icons. And one of them is to raise your hand. You can click on it, and in this case, you see that my hand is raised right now. In this case, I will ask you. When you click on it once again, your hand will be put down. So who is ready to translate the quote? No one. Okay, let me be the one who will be also translating it for you. Многие люди перестают искать работу, когда они действительно находят занятие по душе. The difference between work and job is the following. Work means any tasks, any duties you do in order to earn some money. And a job is your profession, is your occupation, is your vocation. Do you agree or disagree with this quote, and why? Многие люди перестают искать работу, когда они находят свою профессию. Okay, if you say that you agree, you've got to give an argument to support your opinion. Если вы соглашаетесь, либо не соглашаетесь, нам нужен аргумент. What is your argument? Why you agree with the following quote? I see Svetlana sent a message, I want to expand my vocabulary. And Svetlana, this is the right time to expand your vocabulary, so please either speak up or write your answer in the chat if you agree or disagree with the quote. Okay, so you agree because you agree with the quote because if you like your job, there is no need to look for any work. Because your job brings you satisfaction. Because your job makes your life more meaningful. Svetlana, when the work is good, then you don't want to look for anything else. Exactly, right you are. Let's move to the second quote. No matter how hard you work, someone else is working harder. Elon Musk, entrepreneur. Entrepreneur means sole proprietor. Частный предприниматель. Let's also translate the quote first. Who is ready to translate the second one? No hands. A pity to see that. Независимо от того, как тяжело вы работаете, кто-то работает еще усерднее. Do you agree or disagree with this quote? And give a reason why. Zulhumor, I hope I pronounced your name in a proper way. Again, if you agree, please give an argument. Daria, you disagree with Elon Musk. How come is that? How come is that you disagree with Elon Musk? Как так получается? Let me give you a moment. Svetlana, you partially agree? Maybe, but everyone wants to think that he or she works best. That's true. I can't agree more. I work hard because I am a bookkeeper. This is something new to me. A bookkeeper? Could you please clarify your specialization? Елена? Personal ups. Perhaps you meant ups, not climbs. Взлеты. Personal ups. Personal climbs along, but result is visible for all. I'm not sure if I understood you correctly. Could you rephrase yourself? Daria, I think I work harder than anyone else. A bookkeeper, yes? Zulhumor? You meant a bookkeeper. An accountant, not a counter, but an accountant. Okay, let me also type the necessary word, accountant or bookkeeper. Like this. Елена, мы не видим путь достижения цели, но видим результат. У каждого он свой. We cannot observe or see the way to our achievements. Not everyone can see the way to our achievements, but the result is visible for everyone. Perhaps that's what you meant. But I really hope that you see the way to achieve your personal goals, first of all. Okay, let's continue. And before we start learning some useful vocabulary, I would also like to know who is present in the comment session. What are your jobs? I already know that some of you are bookkeepers. Anyone else is taking part in this session? What are your jobs? Please type in the chat. I would like to know who I'm talking to. An accountant, okay. Any entrepreneurs? Частных предпринимателей нет? Any businessman, businesswoman? Okay. An internal auditor? The rest decided to keep it a secret. Some more accountants, but of course, that's my audience. Economists, accountants, a chief accountant. Here we go. Okay, thank you. Now I know who I'm talking to, even though I cannot neither see nor hear you. So, a couple of more questions. The first one, what makes a successful career? Successful career, успешная карьера. Что составляет, какие составляющие входят в успешную карьеру? Что для вас означает успешная карьера? Let's make the list. Exactly, yes, plenty of accountants. I'm surrounded by accountants today. So, what makes a successful career to an accountant? How do you define a successful career as an accountant? Как вы определяете успешную карьеру для бухгалтера? Okay, when you see a result in your job. Or when you see a result by your work. Дарья. Professional skills, desire to work. Anna, when people appreciate my work, appreciation, admiration. Oh, Елена, would you like to speak up? Елена, you are on air. Вы в прямом эфире. We can see you. Would you like to answer this question? So you decided to show up at least. Просто решили показаться. Yes. Unfortunately, we cannot hear you, but we can see you, just to let you know. Мы вас не слышим, но мы вас видим. Don't be afraid. If you click on the icon video, you will stop the video. Если вы кликните на иконку видео, да, вы отключите видео. О, Елена. Long time no see, long time no hear. Елена, would you like to answer the question? Вы когда подключаетесь с видео, да, я воспринимаю это как желание поговорить с аудиторией, со мной. And you are welcome. Ага, и отключаемся сразу. I see how it is. Okay, let me also read a couple of more answers. A successful career means work without fines and tax audits. Okay, what else? Hard and soft skills. Ability to combine hard and soft skills. Okay, what else? Svetlana, in an hour, you will have the right time to go home and have some rest. Actually, in a couple of days, yes, the weekend is coming. So, to know everything about your job. To gain enough knowledge about your job. To know your job backwards and forward. Да, знать свою работу вдоль и поперек. Okay. And now let me know if you have a career plan. Does anyone have a career plan? For example, to become a chief accountant. The question to the chief accountant. What was your career plan to become a chief accountant? How did you climb up the career ladder to become a chief accountant? Maya, when your achievements are recognized by other people and you receive good salary. Anna, yes, I want to be a senior accountant in my company. Way to go, Anna. If you work and get a lot of money for the work you've done. That's a definition of a successful career, I bet. Okay, let's move on to the third question. What would you like to change in your current job or workplace? Что бы вы хотели изменить в своей текущей работе, либо на своем рабочем месте, в компании, в которой вы работаете? Daria, my plan is to work harder and learn new skills in this profession. Maya, to be a chief accountant in an international company and earn euros. Got you.
Can I answer?
Sure, please go ahead.
You ask third question. What would you like to change in your current job workplace? I would like in future to open accounting business, and it's my future business plan.
Okay, not bad.
Work with a lot of accountant and to do different business by accountant, by ruler, by recruiting and other work. My English is not well. That's
You're
why
doing just fine, no worries. You're doing just fine. We understood you. I bet everyone understood you well. What's more, you got a great opportunity to promote your future accounting service and maybe even hunt some of the accountants.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for the answer. Daria, I would like to change the working schedule from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., not from 9 a.m. I completely agree with you. Meiramgul, it would be better if my boss... Okay, it would be better if my boss was changed. Well, it happens. I wanted to increase the salary, but why in the past, Svetlana? I want to increase my salary. Or maybe you already claimed for the increase of your salary. Let's continue. And now please look through these activities from 1 to 7 and then match each activity to its area of work from A to G. Let me read the list of areas of work from A to G first. Sales and marketing, finance, management, human resources, production, research and development, and customer service. Now I'll be reading the activity and your task will be to match it. So you can type 1 and then the letter. So number 1, making manufacturing things. One E, production. Indeed. Next, being in charge of people and running the organization. I see different answers. Someone says C. Someone says D. And the right answer is C. Management. To be in charge of people, it means to be responsible of people. To take the lead of a company. Make sense? I hope so. Next, number 3, selling products or services. Letter A, sales and marketing. 4. Dealing with clients and consumers. Dealing with clients, consumers, and of course, their requests, their inquiries. Letter G, customer service. Number 5, working with figures. Everyone knows. Of course, B, finance. Figures are the numbers. 6, dealing with employees and training, including hand-hunting, recruiting, onboarding. Right you are, letter D, human resources. And the last one, number 7, investigating and testing. Investigating means exploring. Letter F, research and development. Well done. Next. These phrases from 1 to 6 all include the word career. Match each of them to its correct meaning from A to F. So we've got the definitions on the right from A to F, the meanings, and you've got to match them to the notions. Мы сопоставляем дефиниции справа с понятиями слева. So let's go through the list of notions first. Career move, career break, career plan, career opportunities, career path, and career ladder. Now I read the definition, the meaning, on the letter A. Chances to start or improve your career. So you can type A and the number, the necessary number. Number 3, a career plan. I'm not sure. Does everyone agree? Number 4. Let's have a look. Career opportunities. Карьерные возможности. Letter B. Ideas you have for your future career. Yes, and now we've got to use a career plan. Letter C. An action you take to progress in your career. I lost the chat. Number 1, a career move. Move is used in the meaning of a step. A career step, a career move, that's the action you take to make progress in your career. Letter D, a period of time away from your job. A period of time away from your job to, for example, look after your children. What's the answer? Yes, certainly a career break. Letter E, a series of levels or steps in your working life. Exactly. Number 6, career ladder. Ladder, лестница. And the last one, letter F, the direction your working life takes. Letter F. A career path. Карьерный путь. Good. Let's continue. Next, the listening part. Listen for main ideas. Melissa Fox is the finance director of CSC Media Limited, a television company. Listen to the first part of the interview and answer these questions. How does she describe her current company? What was her previous job? And why is it easy to move from sector to sector in the finance world? Are all the questions clear? Do you understand the task? We'll be listening to the audio, and your task will be to catch the answers to the questions in front of you. Okay, let's do it then.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 4.
Can you tell us about your job?
I'm currently the finance director of CSC Media Limited, Chart Show Channels Group, which is the largest independent television business in the UK. We have a mixture of 16 channels. Some are music, some are children's, and some are movie channels.
What was your previous job?
I was previously the finance director of a chocolate pudding business, so very different from television, but the good thing about being in the finance world is that it's relatively easy to move from sector to sector. The basic skills that you need are similar in each case.
I play it one more time.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 4.
Can you tell us about your job?
I'm currently the finance director of CSC Media Limited, Chart Show Channels Group, which is the largest independent television business in the UK. We have a mixture of 16 channels. Some are music, some are children's, and some are movie channels.
What was your previous job?
I was previously the finance director of a chocolate pudding business, so very different from television, but the good thing about being in the finance world is that it's relatively easy to move from sector to sector. The basic skills that you need are similar in each case.
That's it. So, ready with the answers? The first one, how does she describe her current company? What does her current company provide or produce? What is the company's name she's working for? Okay, the largest television company. CSC Media Ltd is the largest independent television business in the UK. The second question. What was her previous job? What did you hear about her previous job? Okay, so she was the finance director. In what area of business? Please specify the area of business. Did anyone catch? Chocolate factory. Yes, she was the finance director for a chocolate pudding business. And the last question, why is it easy to move from sector to sector in the finance world? No answers to the last question. No one understood the speaker. It is easy for her because the basic skills are the same. That's the answer. Next, listen to the second part and complete this extract. On your own, please look through the extract. Look through the text. And while you are listening to it, please don't forget to fill in the gaps. You've got to catch the missing words in this text in front of you. I will play it twice.
Unit 1, Careers, Track 5.
How did you get into finance as a career?
When I was a student, although I was studying chemistry, I thought I would like to do something different afterwards. And I actually did a summer internship with one of the big accountancy firms, which was an excellent way to get an understanding of what the job would be like. I started off as an auditor, and it was through that experience that I got my first job.
One more time.
Unit 1, Careers, Track 5.
How did you get into finance as a career?
When I was a student, although I was studying chemistry, I thought I would like to do something different afterwards. And I actually did a summer internship with one of the big accountancy firms, which was an excellent way to get an understanding of what the job would be like. I started off as an auditor, and it was through that experience that I got my first job.
That's it. Shall I play it one more time, or you are ready to fill in the gaps? Let me start reading then, and we'll see. When I was a student, although I was studying, one more time. Too fast. Okay. Let it be so.
Unit 1, Careers, Track 5.
Actually, I will pause. All right? After the necessary word, I will pause and you will type. Maybe that will help.
How did you get into finance as a career?
When I was a student, although I was studying chemistry.
What is the missing word in number 1? Chemistry.
I thought I would like to do something different afterwards.
Number 2. Anna, different. And Victoria, you got it right. Please follow the text.
And I actually did a summer internship with one of the big accountancy firms.
Okay. So gaps number 3 and 4. Internship, right you are. Internship is a traineeship or an apprenticeship. Стажировка. What about gap number 4? Did you catch the missing word in number 4? How come is that you didn't catch Accountancy firms. She said accountancy firms. Let me type. Okay.
Which was an excellent way to get an understanding of what the job would be like.
Number 5. No one heard. To get understanding. Understanding.
I started off as an auditor, and it was through that experience that I got my first job.
To get an understanding, получить понимание. О работе, которой она будет заниматься. And what about the last word? Experience. Yes, right you are. I move forward. Now, Melissa is asked if she has had any good advice during her career. Listen to the third part and number these points in the order in which she mentions them. То есть вам нужно сейчас прослушать и расставить в правильном порядке те советы, которые вы услышите. Please look through the points. A. Maintain clarity. B. Be able to see the key point and the key decision you have to make. C. Do not overcomplicate things. Guys, if some of the words are unknown, please type in the chat and I will be translating them. If necessary, of course. Now let me play it.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 6.
Have you had any good advice during your career?
Yes, I've had lots of advice during my working career. I think the thing that stands out is really not to overcomplicate things. Especially in the finance world, people can get bogged down in a lot of detail. And it's important to try and maintain clarity and always be able to see above all the numbers that you're given and all the data. And what is really the key point and the key decision you have to make.
Overcomplicate means усложнять. To make it look or sound more puzzling. I play it again.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 6.
Have you had any good advice during your career?
Yes, I've had lots of advice during my working career. I think the thing that stands out is really not to overcomplicate things. Especially in the finance world, people can get bogged down in a lot of detail. And it's important to try and maintain clarity and always be able to see above all the numbers that you're given and all the data. And what is really the key point and the key decision you have to make.
Now let me take a look at your answers. And most of you, actually all of you got it right. Yes, indeed. C, A, and B. Right you are. Next, listen to the final part and decide which was the interviewer's questions, A, B, or C. Look through the questions. What is the most interesting question you have been asked at interviews? B, what is the key difference between people who work in finance and those who work in research? And C, how would you advise people who are starting their careers?
Unit 1. Careers. Track 7.
What I've found in coming across people who've applied for positions in the companies I've worked in is the key difference is people who've done a lot of research on the companies that they've applied to. People have taken the time to not just read company accounts, but research on what the company is moving into and are able to really ask those interesting questions at interview and makes all the difference. So I say research is the key.
Once again.
Unit 1. Careers. Track 7.
What I've found in coming across people who've applied for positions in the companies I've worked in is the key difference is people who've done a lot of research on the companies that they've applied to. People have taken the time to not just read company accounts, but research on what the company is moving into and are able to really ask those interesting questions at interview and makes all the difference. So I say research is the key.
Mm-hmm. Everyone agrees on B? Все согласны с ответом B? I disagree. Svetlana suggested A. То есть вам нужно было, прослушав ее ответ, узнать, на какой вопрос она отвечает. And what was she talking about? She was talking about the interviews. The sound is on. She was talking about the interview. And the necessary preparation a candidate needs to do before he or she applies for a certain position in a company. Exactly. So the right answer is C. I skip a couple of slides with the vocabulary and would like to move on to the video part. How to know if it's time to change careers. Read before you watch. Quitting your job can be scary, but sometimes it's the best thing you can do for your careers, says entrepreneur Chief Wang. He shares how to know when it's time to move on and what you can do to prepare. While watching the video, you need to answer the questions in front of you. Let me move back to the questions. So the first question is, what are 3 main tips to see if you're ready to take a new step in your career? Next, what have you got to do immediately if you are convinced to make a career change? And number 3, what things should you keep in mind when you make your first move toward your bright future? Please check if all the words are known. Check if all the words are already known for you. Any new words so far? I mean, in the questions. Convinced. Убежденный. Что вам необходимо сделать сразу, если вы намерены, убеждены поменять карьеру? To move toward, двигаться по направлению к. Двигаться по направлению к светлому будущему. Ready. Okay. Now let me share my screen with you one more time. Here we go. And I start playing the video. Okay, let me double check if the sound is also shared with you. Yeah, now we are all set. Watch the video and keep in mind the questions you've got to answer afterwards.
I was not one of those kids that knew exactly what they wanted to do when they were growing up. In the last 15 years of my career, I've been an English teacher, attorney, a video game creator, and now a toilet paper salesman selling millions of rolls of toilet paper a year. Life is about finding the intersection of what you really, really love with what you're really, really good at. As simple as it sounds, it's really not that easy to find. After a brief stint as an English teacher, I went to law school and ended up becoming an attorney at a really big law firm here in New York City. Like most Americans, for the next 2-3 years, I was holding on to my job for dear life, working really late hours at a job that I thought maybe I was good at, but certainly not one that I really, really loved. I then came upon that epiphany that it takes years, if not tens of thousands of hours to get really good at something. I really didn't have a lot of time to waste. This talk isn't for those that are just looking to quit their job because they don't like their boss or they had a long day at work. This is for those that are ready to make the completely scary leap into a brand new career. So as you think about making that career change, here are a few tips that I hope you consider and a few things that I picked up along the way. First, there's 3 things to think about before you're ready to move on. Number 1, professional life is about learning. If you're not even interested in learning anymore, that's a huge red flag that there might not be a future for you in that industry. Number 2, career changes are often gut-driven. If you're constantly having sleepless nights where you're just wide awake, staring at the ceiling, thinking, oh man, I can't live with myself if I never try to make this change, or if I don't even actually investigate it, then trust your gut. It might be time for that career change. On the flip side, one reason to not move on is short-term pain. If you don't like your boss or people at the office are grating on you, that's actually not a really good reason to absolutely change your career. Because when you do change your career, you're generally going to have to start from the bottom, and you're actually going to probably feel a lot of short-term pain, whether it's through a lack of salary or a lack of a title. Pain at any job is inevitable. So now you're convinced that it's time to change your career. Then there's 3 things to do immediately. First, network, network, network. No one ever builds a career without a good mentor or a good support network. What I mean by networking is getting all the great advice that you can possibly get. Technology has made it so simple to reach out to new people to say, hey, I'm thinking about making a career change. Do you have just 5 minutes to chat with me? That passion and that hunger and that ability to be a sponge really attracts awesome mentors and people willing to give you their time to give you some good advice. And so go out there and meet new people. The second thing you need to do immediately is shore up your finances. The reality is when you change your career, you're either gonna start with a job with a lower title or lower pay, or maybe even no pay, especially if you're starting your own business. So going out there and making sure that your finances are in order to make the transition less painful is really, really important. For me personally, as I made the transition from being an attorney over to a video game creator, I wanted to have at least 6 to 12 months of personal runway in the bank. 6 to 12 months might not be the right number for you, but be honest with yourself on what that number should be. Number 3, if you're not ready to make the full jump right at this moment, then get your side hustle on. Side hustles could be anything from volunteering with an organization that's in that new industry that you want to go into. Could be starting your business part-time on the weekends. It's a free way to get a taste to see if you really, really love something. So you're ready to make the move, or maybe you already made the move. Here are 3 things you should think about doing right now. 1, do not, I repeat, do not burn bridges. You spent years building those bridges. Why burn them now? The world is such a small place, especially with all these online platforms, that believe me, you will see these people again, and probably in the most inopportune times. Number 2, take stock of what you've learned in your previous career or careers. Most likely, a lot of those things are really applicable to your new job and your new career, whether it's interacting with people, playing on a team, or whether it's dealing with jerks and dealing with assholes. All those things are really universally applicable. You're gonna find jerks no matter what industry you're in. No one's immune to it. Everyone's got to figure it out, and you probably know how to do it already. And lastly, when you start your new job, I know you're gonna be nervous, but don't worry, take a deep breath, because this is what I want to tell you. You're part of a new team now, and everyone around you is rooting for your success, because your success is their success. So welcome to your new career.
Okay, that's it. I bet you are impressed by this video. Unfortunately, I can't make the speaker speak slower. So, you had to, let me get back to the presentation first of all, so that you can see the questions again. So you had to filter out his speech, get rid of all the wordiness, and catch the sense of his speech, the main point of his speech. So let's try at least. What are 3 main tips to see if you're ready to take a new step in your career? You've got to list them. Well, at least one of them. Okay, Anna, learn about new professional life and trust your gut feeling. Gut feeling – это внутренняя интуиция. Gut. Take a look. So the first tip is about professional life, and the professional life is limitless, or professional life means limitless learning. Also, you got to keep in mind that career changes are often gut-driven. So you got to trust your gut feeling, exactly. And one more. You've got to be ready. You've got to be ready for short-term pain, like a lack of salary or lack of a title. А вы должны быть готовы к кратковременной боли, такой как недостаточная маленькая заработная плата, либо отсутствие должного звания, позиции. Yes, Anna. So we've just discussed that a lack of salary or a lack of a job title can be painful, especially at the beginning. Not bad. Let's try to answer the second question. What have you got to do immediately if you are convinced to make a career change? Что вам нужно сделать сразу же, если вы намерены сменить место не только работы, да, а сменить профессию? Анна, you are taking the rep for everyone. Да, отвечаете за всех on behalf of the whole team. Network. You've got to expand your network. That's right. Расширять рабочие связи. Don't burn the bridges. And figure out your financial pillow. And decide if you're ready to work full-time. Okay, so indeed, networking matters these days, so you got to develop relationships and connections within your network. Shore up your finances. Shore up means to back up your finances. You've got to have a safety pillow, a financial safety pillow. Да, иметь финансовую подушку безопасности. And even learn to side hustle. side hustle might be a new word. Side hustle means to work in addition to your main job. So apart from doing your main job, you can also side hustle. Ну, работать на стороне, подрабатывать. Давайте так переведу, подрабатывать, side hustle. And now the final question. What things should you keep in mind when you make your first move toward your bright future? Yes, Anna, right you are. So that's the point. Do not burn your bridges. Yes, that's the answer to this sort of question, indeed. Anything else? Remember what you've learned in your previous job, exactly. And one more, don't get nervous. That's a common advice, I would say. Well, you're partially right, so don't get nervous because the whole team is also rooting for your success. The whole team is also striving for your success. To root for, it means to support. So you got to keep in mind that the whole team is also rooting for your success. The whole team is supporting you. So that's why no need to get nervous. All right, so time is up. I hope you enjoyed this session. I hope you gained some new knowledge. You learned some new words, word phrases. Please let me know if you have any questions to me. Do you have any questions so far about this session? On the whole, we will have 20 sessions, 20 hours. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, so it's good to know, Daria, that you like the session. You can also find me in Telegram in our group and ask any questions you've got. So you can find me there and contact me directly in Telegram in our channel. So time is up. I wish everyone a lovely evening ahead. Have a good rest and see you next time. Bye, everyone.